Well, 2021 wasn't exactly a big year for movies now, was it? In review of last year, a lot of movies got pushed back to 2022, which made this list rather easy yet difficult at the same time. So let's jump into my list of the top 10 movies of 2021. First, a quick honorable mention goes to North Hollywood. Now, North Hollywood kind of reminded me of mid-90s, and they have some connection. The lead character of mid-90s was in North Hollywood, and the director of North Hollywood was a producer in mid-90s. I did enjoy the film, but it didn't quite make the list. Number 10, Don't Tell a Soul. And the main soul is a dysfunctional relationship between the two siblings, who are our main characters. You know, mid-90s had a dysfunctional sibling relationship as well. North Hollywood did not. Why do I gravitate to movies with this?
It's game time, shiznit.
Number 9, No Sudden Move. A film with a great cast. Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro, Kieran Culkin, and Brendan Fraser in the midst of his personnance. The film uses cast to great effect, and even though it's more of a low-key heist, it's interesting to see our characters dealing with the situation when things don't go according to plan. Number 8, Nobody. Nobody is, on the outside, a John Wick action film. But, under the hood, it was written by the same guy who wrote John Wick, so it gets what it was while being its own thing, and that is a cool action film that's like John Wick, but not trying to be John Wick. Number 7, Castle Falls, starring and directed by Dolph Lundgren, which also stars direct-to-video legend Scott Adkins. With these two, we at least know it's going to be a fun watch, but this was actually a lot better than I expected, and it looked better than the typical low-budget affair. Although Scott Adkins did have one shot in 2021, which also looked great. So hopefully that just means that these guys are on the up and up, and we'll be seeing bigger production for these guys soon. Number 6, The Tomorrow War. While uneven, there were parts of The Tomorrow War did very well, like the initial jumps to the future, and the tension being built right before showing the aliens. That was done so well, and while the action was fun, it would have been nice to have more scenes of tension interwoven between the action set pieces. Number 5, Ghostbusters Afterlife. This new Ghostbusters really runs on all cylinders when it's focusing on the new characters, discovering gadgets and gizmos, and their character as the adventure unfolds. While the ending might be nostalgic for some, it intruded a bit on the story of the new characters. Overall though, a good film, and hopefully if they make another, they can focus on the characters at hand.
Hey Phoebes, at school today, don't be afraid to just start a conversation.
Are you kidding me? That's horrible advice. You're literally setting her up for failure. Hey, how are the jokes coming along?
Why should you never trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
That's funny.
No, it's not. Okay, you can drop me off here.
Oh, what, are you embarrassed?
Yeah, bye.
Number 4, The Suicide Squad. A reboot/sequel to the other Suicide Squad, but this one was much more bizarre. But that really added character, as well as the new additions to the team being great, Ratcatcher 2 and King Shark being standouts. But the entire team is fun to watch in their shenanigans.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Fuck. That's true.
Number 3, Red Rocket. This is a much smaller film. It focuses on Mikey and his current struggles where he has to return to his hometown. Mikey is very charismatic, which is why you like him so much, even when he starts making questionable decisions later in the film. But the film itself threw me for a loop. I thought it set up one way the story would play out, and then just veered off into uncharted territory. Certainly keeps you on your toes. Number 2, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now this film is not at all like the technical version that we got, and with the freedom that Zack Snyder was given, he really did as much as he could. Both to good and bad effect. The story and characters are much better, especially with the terrible Joss Whedon comedy being cut out. Speaking of character, Cyborg actually has one in this film. The same can be said about The Flash though, as I personally still found him annoying and dull. The visual element has also improved. An example is Steppenwolf. Not only does he look cooler, but effects-wise, he seems more tangible. And if the 4-hour runtime is intimidating, I can understand that. There's a lot of slow-mo throughout the film that really But it seems like Snyder finally hit his stride in the DCEU, after a decent start with Man of Steel, and a huge misstep in Batman vs Superman. So, we'll see what happens, because DC is kind of a mess. And at the number 1 slot, a situation similar to Zack Snyder's Justice League, a movie basically remade in the editing bay, Rocky vs Drago, the Rocky IV Director's Cut.
Soon, whole world will know my name. Drago.
This recut is almost a brand new movie. The length is about the same, but there was a lot of new footage added, and footage from the theatrical version was cut. It does have a rocky start.
Your nose is broke. How's it look? That's an improvement.
But it hits its stride soon after the introduction, and it gives us a lot more to bite into about the relationship dynamics and Drago himself. All of these new additions are great, but now we need a second recut. Because I'm not happy with the beginning. So back to the editing bay. Why did you take out the gloves crashing? That was cool. And that's my list! I know there's movies that I didn't watch, so what are some that I missed? Let me know below. And now we can look forward to this year. We have Samaritan. What else might possibly come out in 2022?